Coming up in this episode of Outlook TV, we have Wendy Warhol Le Cocktail in Montreal.
Halifax's M&J's Queer Performance Space.
Sort of, a new HBO series Trans-Focused, and much, much more.
Hello and welcome to Outlook TV. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Angus Pratt. We would like to thank the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh nations and surrounding nations for the privilege of filming this episode on their traditional lands.
We are the queer news magazine show that brings you the stories that matter the most from coast to coast. And we're kicking it off in Montreal.
Yes, and we're going to Le Cocktail Bar to see what Wendy Warhol is doing with her new exhibit.
Friendships are so important in life and particularly in the drag community. Today I'm speaking with two best friends, Wendy Warhol and Phoenix Vixen, about our upcoming new show called Eclipse at the Cocktail.
Tonight, Phoenix Vixen and I, we are showing to the people Eclipse. Like, my drag is more bubbly and her drag is more dark, so hence the name Eclipse. When I came back from Mexico, we did together again. We love working together. Another show, and it was actually it was my show. It was called Là pour rester jusqu'à ce que je reparte, which means I'm here to stay until I leave again. My friendship with Phoenix Vixen is very special because, first of all, she's my bestie. I love her so much. And not only that as a person, but also as a drag. I met her for the first time at Cabaret Mado when she was working there. We kind of clicked right away, and she decided to be my drag godmother. And since then, we've been friends, even more friends and more friends, and we started working together, and now we're even producing shows together. I feel blessed because even though we have like lots of restrictions, the people still show up and they're not scared anymore, because when the pandemic started, they were scared of going out. And now with all the measures, the sanity measures that we have, people are not scared to come, and they are very excited actually, because the bars have been closed for such a long time. So when they see us, they're like very excited, and it's so much fun.
My drag is kind of eclectic, I would like to say, because I can do a lot of things except comedy. I'm so boring in comedy, but I really like to do stuff that people don't usually do, or music that people don't usually do. So electronic, spoken word, some androgynous number. That's really the things I love. I like when the people in the crowd are like, oh my god, what's that song? Usually they used to ask me what's the name of the song. Now they have Shazam, but it's okay. I really love when I see people like Shazamming my song, or like, oh my god, this song was so good, I forgot that song exists. So that's kind of what I like. Kind of a dark side. Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard to work with Wendy. She's so pain in the ass. No, I'm joking. She's really fun. We have a good chemistry. Both of us have kind of two different energy, but we can merge those energy together to make something really fun and cool. And I think we're friends for now, like maybe 5 or 6 years. It's important to have good friends, not only because what's happening now in the world, but especially with all the social media. It's so easy to get hate online that we need some people to be like, no, you don't listen to them. I think it's important for us to just stay together and be stronger as a team than strong alone.
Make sure that you follow Phoenix and Wendy on social media to know what our next shows are going to be and when. For Outlook TV, this is Ollie in Montreal.
This next story has an international flavor to it.
Yes, and our reporter Patrick is going to take us to Berlin.
Well, we have a very special guest all the way on the other side of the world, practically. Well, not the whole side. He is originally from England, and he's living in Berlin. And I had the opportunity to meet him when we did a little song and a collaboration called True Colors. His name is Paul Middleton.
Your true colors are beautiful.
It came about when obviously COVID kicked off, and I think a lot of singers, and there was a lot of uncertainty in the world. And I had previously recorded a version of True Colors by myself, and I thought that would be a great song to do because of the message, and to try and invite lots of people from around the world to collaborate, to come together, you know, the LGBTQ community and allies as well, to come together and just kind of like sing something and just kind of give a message of hope and positivity to everyone. And it turned out amazing.
You with the sad Don't be discouraged, though I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people.
How did this all come to be?
Well, my mum died of cancer when I was 16, and I kind of, about 7 years ago, I started to develop a little bit of an online following and a fan base, and I decided to put an album out, and I donated all the profits to that to cancer research. In fact, covers 1 and covers 2 went to cancer research, and it's my first album in particular is very much a tribute to my mum. It's very much like a nod to her. A lot of the songs on there are kind of like special to her. Like I did a version of "Make You Feel My Love" and also "Hands to Heaven," which is by an 80s group called Breathe, which is a beautiful song. And yeah, so a lot of the songs on that album are with her in my heart, and you know, singing for her.
But I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid.
The biggest difficulty was finding the diversity from the LGBTQ scene, but luckily everyone kind of eventually came on board. But then also it was like juggling the voices, the parts, because eventually more people jumped on, and I was like, okay, well that means I'm gonna have to rearrange who does what, and so actually everyone was really cool about it. And you know, because sometimes singers can be a bit like, well, you know, that was my part, whatever. Yeah. But actually everyone was in the total complete spirit of it, and everyone gave up their time. And actually the deadline, everyone met the deadline as well. I was like, I need it by then. Yeah, for a minute, I felt I was the Bob Geldof of the gay world.
Call me up, 'cause you know I'll be there. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors.
And my next album, Covers 4, is coming out at the end of October. So I'm on my 4th album of doing covers now. And I'm very excited about it because, you know, as an independent artist, you'll know about this, you know, you kind of like grow and you know, you get more listeners on this journey with you. And it's been fantastic. So I'm very excited to put it out there into the world.
We just caught up with international recording artist Paul Middleton. We talked a little bit about True Colors. This is Patrick Massey for Outlook TV in Vancouver, BC.
Colors are beautiful, like a rainbow.
It's time for us to take a little break now.
We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, this is Bilal Baig. I'm the co-creator and lead of Sort of, and you're watching Outlook TV.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
Yes, and now we're going to meet the first Canadian trans feminine South Asian Muslim performer.
Wow, you got all of that. Excellent. And their new show is Sort of.
A new TV show called Sort of, written and directed by queer Asian Bilal Baig, is launching on CBC this fall. Let's find out more about this show.
Are you in the right place in your life?
In terms of...
Are you using any of the skills you learned at electricity school?
Sort of is, follows the journey of a character named Sebi, who I play, who's right in the middle of their 20s, and they're like, I think most 20-somethings are just trying to figure out who they want to be in the world, how they want to be that person, while juggling relationships at work, in their personal life, and with their family as well. And what we're really looking at through this show is what it means to evolve and transition, and how that applies to all the characters in our show, even though those transitions look different from each other, and society sometimes doesn't see all transitions as equal. But what we're trying to do with our show is really investigate how that word applies to all the characters. So many members of our queer and trans communities. My hope is that we may get to see a piece of ourselves in the show somewhere, whether it's in some of the characters or maybe even just in the circumstances that some of these characters move through. I think people are able to see themselves. They may be able to access some healing through that too. And then the other thing I want to offer is just fun and joy. I hope people are able to laugh as well and find the levity in it. I want this show to be something that people feel and then are able to talk about.
You're so real. I'm glad our kids have been exposed to you.
I'm glad I exposed myself to them.
Olympia was such a joy and such a treat for me to play. She is a successful programmer at Google and has found her way from California to Toronto, where she feels a little lonely. And her journey in the first season, what we see of her so far is that she's really looking for connection, and she finds that in Sebi. It was really exciting finding parallels between myself and Olympia. We're both trans women, and it was really exciting to play a trans woman who is really thriving. I think that was particularly inspiring for me, and I feel like that's a really exciting and new way that we're starting to see trans characters being portrayed. I like that she's a little bit of a nerd, and she's a little bit silly, and definitely a little bit sexy. And I think that all of those things live inside me as well.
We had an open casting call to bring in different trans and non-binary performers onto our show, and they were cast in various roles. So for your audiences, if they are intrigued by performance, if we get a second season, I know for sure we'll have another open casting call, and so maybe look out for that.
To all the trans audience that's going to watch this show, I hope that you feel seen and represented by us and are excited by the stories that you're going to see. Start streaming on CBC Gem on October 5th, and it's going to be on CBC TV November 9th, starting at 9 p.m.
Wear makeup and care for children. If you're not a girl, what are you?
Check out Sort of on CBC this fall. This is Gary Wolfader for Outlook TV.
We're heading out to Halifax now to check on a new queer performance space.
Yes, and M&J's restaurant is providing this space, so let's go see what it's all about.
Hello, my amazing and beautiful, fabulous people. We're back in Halifax, and today we're at M&J's Eatery. Let's go talk to the Queen Mahogany and find out their amazing success story and how they made their business thrive throughout the COVID pandemic.
I have a restaurant for the last 4.5 years, been catering for just about 10 years now. Now presently with a brick and mortar spot here on 813 Bedford Highway, and we can serve up some food and do some catering for you, and also create some entertainment for our full spectrum of our community.
What started the idea of opening M&J's?
I used to work for a nursing home and did a lot of food for the residents there, and seeing the joy that it brought back memories even through the deepest of dementia, and I really loved and yearned for that feeling on a regular basis. So when the opportunity or the encouragement came through to pursue this, I had nothing but say yes and follow my heart.
How long has the business been open for?
The actual restaurant brick and mortar has been 4.5 years now.
4.5 years?
Doing catering has been almost 10 years.
How did the COVID pandemic affect your business?
The first year and a half, actually, because of my fast thinking, it was actually fairly easy transition in a sense to go from dine-in to takeout, because we already had takeout involved. Catering, unfortunately, took a really big dip, but we were very easily converted because we already had those sources of options, including our freezer meals and what have you. The last 3 to 4 months of it, the last bit there, it was definitely a big swallow. Maybe think about looking at other options in order to broaden our horizons of business. Thankfully, reached out to the queer and ally community, had support, had love, had encouraging words, encouraging aspirations to do things together, and here we are now doing more entertainment and live events than ever, and I couldn't be more joyful.
How did it make you feel personally?
Oh my gosh, I don't want to shed tears right now, but there's been many tears, many Thanksgivings, and can't be nothing but humbled by the expression of love.
What are your plans for the future?
you know what? I'm going to leave it to the community, to the grace of the Almighty, whatever it might be, and take every day by day and listen and learn and continue taking on the encouragement of these other small businesses that we can, you know, be this incubator of support.
The worst way to be a fraud. Nobody does it like me.
So you just heard from the amazing and beautiful Queen, Mahogany. Thank you so much for joining us today. And honestly, I'm just gonna take this and like do a little scoot over here. I hope you don't mind.
Not at all.
This is Jessie for Outlook TV.
It's time for us to take another little break now.
Stay with us.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
Yes, and now we're going to take a little step into the past with Free to be Fabulous with Connie Smudge.
Kittens, we have a fundraiser of all fundraisers today. It is the Rainbow Refugee fundraiser. Free to be fabulous, kittens. That's right, my darlings. I have got Peach Cobbla and Carlotta Girl, and they're both hosting this fabulous Cavalcade of Stars. We're raising money and raising awareness for people all around the world. So let's get a little sit down with those people, and you'll see what we're here for. Watch this.
Last year we raised $11,000 and all that money went to Rainbow Refugee and Rainbow Railroad. This year we're focusing on Rainbow Refugee specifically because they're local, they're volunteer run. All the money raised is going directly to helping those that are in need.
Rainbow Refugee is an organization that I hold very, very deep to my heart. My mom was a refugee to this country. The only reason I am in this country is because the country was welcoming refugees from other parts of the world that were in crisis, and I very much believe that for queer populations who are very much at risk in a lot of places on this planet, it's vital that we as a community put our money where our heart is and come out to events like this to support a volunteer-run organization that is doing a world of good for people.
It's amazing to think that, you know, many like different places away from us, our works and deeds can impact someone else in a faraway country who needs to come to a place where they feel they belong and they're respected and they're loved. And to be able to do that with what we're doing here today is an amazing, huge feat.
Being gay is not the most exciting thing about your life.
No, yeah.
There's so many more other things, but that is so much a part of your identity that if you can't even express yourself as your identity, you can't do or explore or learn about all the other things. The ripple effect of your kindness and your action really matters. Everything that you do matters because you don't know how you're gonna have a reach in your life. No idea. Sometimes I am puzzled, like, you know, I did a thing in 2013 and then like to this day, I still get a message from a random teenager from Egypt.
Yes. We did feel the love, we did feel the energy, and it is going to ripple across the world because every deed that you enter in with a pure heart of love and understanding, and I want you to leave you with this message. I want you to think higher and feel deeper. Ladies and gentlemen, I am still your intrepid reporter, the unstoppable Connie Smudge, reporting for Outlook TV. Yeah!
We're going to head back in time again, this time to the PNE in 2018.
Let's go see what they're doing.
Hi there, viewers. We're at the Pacific National Exhibition, and it's Out at the Fair Day. And if you buy a pair of these fabulous rainbow socks, like I'm doing now, you get into the fair for free. How can you lose? Let's go check it out.
Oh, we're here at the PNE selling rainbow socks and having Out at the Fair Day, so we're really excited to be here. We're gonna sell all 1,000 pairs of them. Haha. And then they did let us know that we can let an additional 2,000 people in if they make a donation to VPS today. So lots of support for our LGBTQ community from the PNE.
Anything we can do to support Vancouver Pride or the LGBT community, because I have family members that are part of the community, and that's why we're here.
Why is this important to you?
Well, there's a lot of inequality. A lot of people get hurt by not doing this. I'm actually a teacher, so it's a big part of my class so that I tell them to support and stand out for things. So it's important that I also walk the walk that I'm telling other people. And it's been something I've done since I'm a teenager, so that's why I buy these and support them.
We're here today at Out on the Fair representing Vancouver Pride Society, and we are just excited to tell people what we're about, how they can volunteer, and give them a chance to stop by, play a little trivia game, or make a button. We have a duck trivia game. You can pick a duck, which corresponds with a number. We will ask you a skill testing question, a trivia testing question, and you can win one of our prizes, rainbow flags and pens.
Making buttons with attendees of the event.
What sort of buttons are you making?
We're doing pronoun buttons, he, she, they, them, and you can make your own. And then we're also have buttons for our theme, Be You, as well as you can kind of create your own and color your own designs.
Why do you think the PNE is so supportive of Pride?
Well, I think that everyone in the community is realizing that making a stand, making a public stand is important. We still have incidents of discrimination. We heard about that recent suicide of a 9-year-old boy who came out as gay, and so we still have work to do. And I think organizations like the PNE, by making this very public stand today, just add to the education for the community and acceptance and awareness.
This has been John Crossan with Outlook TV, and we're at the Vancouver's Pacific National Exhibition at Special Day Out at the Fair, and we've been selling tons of socks to raise money for Pride. Thanks for watching.
That's all the time we have for this episode of Outlook TV, but we'll be back before you know it.
And be sure to check us out on social media and join us if you want to be one of our volunteers.
We're so much fun to hang out with. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Angus Pratt.
Stay safe, Canada.